Welcome back to the channel. So today we will be discussing this pyspark coding interview question, and I found this problem very interesting. And let me know like if you found this problem interesting and unique uh, in the comment section. Okay. So this is the input table and this is the output table. Basically, in the input we have two columns, ID and message, and in the output we need three columns, ID, consonants, consonants count. Okay, and let's see the challenge basically which we need to solve. Find the total consonant count in the message column. So basically here, if you see here, this is simple a string column, right? We have a simple string column. We need to find how many, first of all, like we need to find the consonants basically. Like we we need to concat all the consonants, like right? We don't need any space, and then we need to find the count. So basically, if you see here, this how many characters are here in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is our answer, right? Similarly, for this one, we have 10 character, and this one we have 11 character, and all of them are what? Consonants, right? This is what we need to find. So how we can approach this problem? Okay. So before starting or approaching to this problem, right, what we can do, like we can understand what is vowels and what is consonants, right? So A, E, I, O, U. Like these are I've written in the small case. So these are what vowels, and anything other than those five letters, everything is what consonants. So if I ask you, uh, find the consonants in this particular string. So what you will do, you will have this A, E, I, O, U, and you will like iterate through each and every character and check if the character falls uh, in these five characters, then you will say you will ignore that and other character you will count, right? So let's do that quickly, right? Like how. Okay, so if you see here, this I fall over here, yes. So we need to ignore this, and then we have space. We need to ignore this. We have L. This doesn't fall in these five character. That's why we have this L over here. Similarly, O falls. Yes, we have O over here. So we will ignore this. V, it it is not there. We will take it. E, it is there. We will not take. Space, we need to ignore it. T, we will take. O, we will not take. Space, we will ignore. Similarly, P, we will take. L, we will take. A will take. Not. A will not take. Y will take. Space, we will ignore. C, I, C, R, I will ignore. This take, not take. So if you do this, we will get this thing, right? And the count is 11. Similarly, we can do this exercise for other two rows also. So this is what we need to do. To approach this, like what we did manually, we can write the code for the same. What we did, we simply ignore the case first of all. So basically we can have the everything in the lower case. Second, we ignored vowels, right? And spaces. Third, created column of consonants. And fourth, we counted the characters, right? So for all these four, if we do all these four operations, then we will get our required output. So for each of these operations, we have a corresponding function. So converting a string to a lower case, we have the lower function, right, in PySpark. Similarly, ignoring the vowels and spaces, what we can do. So this is the space, like special thing of this question. Basically, here we will use regular expression, replace, right? And we will create a column using with column, right? And we will count the characters. So we need to count the character in the string. So we will use length function and we will pass the string column basically, right? So these are the four steps we need to perform and solve this problem. So what you can do now, now you know what are the steps in which we can solve this. So you can pause the video and try it by yourself. Then you can uh, watch the rest of the video, right? So let's start. Okay. So let me jump to my Databricks notebook and okay. So this is the same data. Okay. Let me run this and let me zoom a little more. So let me show the data frame. So we can write df.show. Okay, so this is getting truncated, but we need to look at entire data. So we can write truncate equal to false. Okay, now you can see the entire data we have. Okay, the first thing was like generating this consonant column, right? So what we will do, let me start. So we'll write df consonants, right? We can write df dot with column. So these two steps, these three steps will be combined, right? We will convert the lowercase and then we will write the regular expression and then create this column. Okay. So let me do all these things quickly. So we can have the column name as consonants and we can have this lower of column. Which column? Like I will show you the step by steps. I will not write directly the solution. So, okay, and we can just print this df consonants, right? Okay, now you see we got error lower and this column is also not defined. So we will import these things. So from pyspark.sql.functions import lower and column, right? So let me run this and now let me run this. Okay, and this is thumb rule now in this question basically. We need to dis like disable this truncate equal to false. We don't want to truncate the column value. Okay, okay, false. This should be capital F. Mm, okay, truncate. Let me run this now. Okay, now you can see like each and every character converted into the smaller place, right? Now the next thing is this ignoring vowels and space. So how we can do this? Using a regular expression replace. So let me explain you the syntax for this one. So regular expression replace. So this consists of three things. First, the column to which we need to convert. Second, the expression. Third, with what? Basically, with what we need to replace those things. So let me write this. So we'll write regular expression replace. So our column name. So what is our column name? This, right? Consonants. So we'll write column consonants and then expression. So expression would be if if we saw A, we need to ignore E, ignore I, ignore O, ignore U, ignore and then the blank spaces. So this is our expression. If we see anything out of this, we need to consider and we need to replace it with what? Blank space, right? So let's write this piece of code. So what we can do, we can simply write over here only. So we can write df consonants, df consonants. Now we need to use df consonants, right? Dot with column. um, we can just override this. Okay. Okay, let me create a new column only. So in small, or you can say that without without vowels and space. So this is our column name. Okay, and we can write over here a regular expression replace. So what all things we needed? We need to pass the column name. So the column name is consonants, right? So we can simply write over here. Let me bring this to the next line. So we can write column of this and then the expression. So our expression is if we see anything A, E, I, O, U or a space, we need to replace it with blank, right? So instead of replacing it blank, I will first write one time dash, okay, and let's see what we are getting. Then we will modify our answer. So this is not defined, so we need to import this. So we can write this, right? Okay, let me run this now. Okay, now you can see this I got replaced with this blank. Similarly, this space got replaced with this second dash basically. And then L, since this is not a part of AEIOU, so it is as it is. Similarly, O got replaced with dash, right? So now we understood this. So instead of dash, like if you want to write your name, you can write. So let me write my name over here. So if I want to replace it with Dheeraj, then I can do it. See, everywhere uh, Dheeraj is there, right? And in between we have this L also, L and then V, all these things, right? I think this thing is clear. So we just need to remove this and okay, I think now we got a required column, this column basically, consonants column, right? Okay, so now we don't need this column and this column, right? So we can simply write drop column message column consonants, right? Let me copy this and run this. Okay, now we have only these two columns, right? And in the output, if we see, we need to convert the name of the column should be consonants. So what we can do instead of writing this, we can have consonants. Okay, let's rename this in the later stages. Okay, so this is done. Now the next step is finding the count of the character. So how we can do? So in pyspark, basically to find a character in a string or a count of a character in the string, we can just um, use the length function. Okay, so we have two function over here, size and length. So size we use for finding the length of the array or a map data type, but here we have the data type as string, so we can use that. So let me do that. So we can write df answer, df answer is equal to df, what was the name, consonants dot with column. We can write consonants count and then length of column, this, right? And we can give the alias to this as, okay, so we are using here the with column, so it is not required. So we can write df answer dot, so let me run this. Okay, so length is not defined, right? So again, we need to import this. I'm making this mistakes purposely so that we learn, right? So let me run this. Okay, now you can see 11, 10, 7, and let me cross verify from here 11, 10, 7. Okay. I think we got our required output, and we just need to like rename this column. So what we can do, we can write this piece of code here. So we can write this start with rename column. We need to replace this with answer names, right? Let me run this. Okay. I think I don't remember what exactly we write. Okay, let me Google search rename column in PySpark with column renamed. Okay, so let me just copy this and forward it here. Okay, now I think we got our required output, right? So yes, if you like this content, please do like, subscribe, and share the channel. And if you are new to this channel, you can check out our other playlist also. We have a lot of interview related content in this channel, uh, in SQL, PySpark, Python, Pandas, DSF, right? So yes, let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.